I've recently come back from a small trip to the Cham Islands, and if you're spending some time in Da Nang or Hoi An, I encourage you to give these small islands a try and spend a couple of days there. But first, what are the Cham Islands and where are they? The Cham Islands are located off the coast of Hoi An, and they're an archipelago of 8 small islands. The biggest island, called Hon Lau, is the only inhabited one, and it's a very popular destination for day trips from Hoi An for snorkeling, diving, sunbathing and boat tours, but very few people actually stay on the island overnight. The islands are also a perfect getaway from the bustling streets of Da Nang or Hoi An, and if you decide to go there, I'd encourage you to spend at least one night, if not two, just relax and take in the natural beauty of the area. If all of this sounds good to you, let's move on to some details. As the islands are pretty small and sparsely populated, the options to get there are pretty limited. To get on a boat to the islands, you need to first get to Kuadai Beach, about 20 minutes from the old town of Hoi An and maybe 45 minutes from Da Nang. Once you get to Kuadai Beach, either with the help of a scooter or ride-hailing service, you'll find a couple of different options to get to the islands. First, you'll be approached by multiple speedboat operators who offer transportation to the islands. A speedboat is the fastest way to get to the islands, taking about 20 minutes, but from what I've heard, it's quite a bit more expensive than the ferry, and if you want to take your own motorbike, then you can't use the speedboat anyway. The other option, which we used, is the bigger ferry, that takes about an hour to get to the islands. A one-way ticket to the islands on a ferry is 150,000 dong, while a return ticket is 250,000. Since the islands are a protected area, all passengers must pay an additional 100,000 to enter them. This means that the total for a ferry ride to the islands is 350k. Additionally, if you're planning to bring your own scooter, it's another 200k, bringing a total to 550 for a return ticket with a scooter. I recommend immediately getting a return ticket as it's valid any day, so it just makes life easier for you. There's only one ferry per day and it leaves at 8:15 a.m, so if you're traveling with a scooter, you really don't want to miss it. Speedboats, on the other hand, leave at various times during the day, but from what I've heard, you really want to be at the docks by 11 a.m. Ferry tickets are sold directly by the gate. They write down your name and your phone number and give you a paper ticket. Hold on to that ticket as you will need it for your return journey. As far as accommodation is concerned, there are 2 main towns on the island, Bai Lang and Bai Huang. Now excuse my pronunciation as it's probably obviously wrong, but let's move on. Bai Lang is the biggest town on the island. That's where the port is located, where all the boats come and go, and where you also have more options when it comes to food and shopping. On the southern side of the island, you'll find Bai Huang, a relaxed village with a scenic view of another small island nearby. We stayed in Bai Lang, but both towns offer coffee, homestays and food. And if you have a scooter, they're both just 10 minutes away from each other. There are 2 main ways of getting around the island, and that is either walking or on a scooter. Each has its own advantages and disadvantages. Seeing the whole island on foot is certainly a possibility, especially if you have a couple of days to spend there. For example, a loop starting in Bai Lang and covering the whole southern part of the island is about 14 kilometers. It will take you most of the day, and sure, there are uphill parts, but it's a doable hike. The other way to get around is with a scooter. You can either bring one on the island with you, which I already covered in this video, or you can rent a scooter on the island. You can ask directly in your homestay or look for scooter rental signs, but from what I've seen, the going rate for a scooter is about 150 to 200k per day. The scooter will allow you to cover more ground faster, but it's also not a perfect solution for the island. First of all, the roads on the islands are narrow, so you need to watch out, especially around sharp turns. Secondly, you can't make a loop around the whole island on a scooter because parts of the road are blocked due to landslides. Now, this might change in the future, but as of recording of this video, certain parts of the island are blocked. This means that when you're driving around, you have to backtrack quite a bit. I tried to mark all the road blockages for you, but keep in mind that those are only the places where crossing the road is impossible. There are more areas on the island where roads are difficult to drive through. Both walking and driving around the island offer beautiful views and you won't be disappointed with either. Just remember to pack plenty of water, sunscreen and snacks. Now for the fun part. Generally speaking, if you love nature and water related activities, you'll have a lot of fun on the islands. Simply hiking or driving around, especially alongside the northern coast of the island, is a great experience. There are very few people around, if any, and the sights are rugged and beautiful. There are also numerous beaches where you can enjoy sunbathing and swimming. A lot of places on the island also offer snorkeling equipment for rent, so you can grab some on the way to the beach. There are also plenty of tours that you can take around the island. You'll find basket boat tours offered by the locals, as well as snorkeling and scuba diving. These will take you to different parts of the archipelago, not accessible if you were to simply grab your snorkeling gear and hop in the water. The islands are also home to about 300 species of coral, so there's plenty to see underwater. Although a large part of the local coral reef is dead, there are currently intense efforts to revive it. Overall, the Cham Islands offer a wonderful retreat from the busy life of Da Nang or Hoi An. And if you're spending an extended period of time in those areas, maybe pay the islands a visit and enjoy a completely different atmosphere. That's it for today. I really hope you give the Cham Islands a chance during your time in Vietnam. Leave a comment if you have any questions and consider subscribing to the channel. It really helps me out.